This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first, like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, Atlanta. Apple is open for small business. That's right. We're here to make starting and running your business simpler. With privacy and security built in on all devices, it's easy for you to protect your customers' data. And if you need hardware or software support, you'll get advice from business experts at no cost whatsoever. So you can focus more on the soup du jour and less on, the other stuff. At Apple, we're open for your small business. Go to apple.com/small business or visit an Apple store to learn more.
Your neighborhood just got cooler with Kroger Delivery's refrigerated trucks. Simply order groceries at the same great prices online as in-store, and we'll bring them to you fresh every time. And if that wasn't cool enough, you can now earn 4 times the fuel points after 4 with your digital coupon. Choose a next-day Kroger delivery time slot for 4 p.m. or later on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Must deliver by February 4th. Restrictions apply. See Kroger.com for details.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy, that's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
We now know that the Eagles next Sunday will be hunting not wabbits, but whams. It's going to be the Eagles versus the Rams next Sunday for a chance to play for the NFC Championship game. Guys, welcome to the Eagles Checkdown right here on the Eagles Pin Poll Podcast Network. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, bringing you the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is, covering news, notes, and opinions on your Philadelphia Eagles. And yes, Monday night, the Rams dominated, I guess is the right word, smoked the Minnesota Vikings to set up the date with the Philadelphia Eagles here in Philadelphia at 3 o'clock on Sunday for a chance to play for the NFC Championship and a chance to go to the Super Bowl again. And, we got lots to get into today with that. We've got roster moves. We got comments about the filling in for Nakobe Dean. And let's just dive right into that. Nakobe Dean, there's a lot of talk about Oren Burks or Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And while I'm on the side of saying that Oren Burks and his experience should get the nod on Sunday, and probably will, there's a strong part of the fan base that wants to see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. unleashed on the for the Eagles and unleashed Sunday at the Link. Now, Oren Burks has got the experience. He's got 17 tackles in Week 18 against the Giants. He played in the Super Bowl for the San Francisco 49ers, having 5 or 6 tackles. That's the experience factor. Trotter Jr., he was drafted here, and all comparisons were he was just another small, fast, undersized linebacker, just like Nakobe Dean. So there's similarities there. And Vic Fangio spoke on Tuesday, and, he said Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has a good future here, and it may be now. When the last time he was that glowingly positive about a young player, it was about Jalix Hunt. And then the very next week, we started seeing Jalix Hunt get mixed into the lineup, and then a few weeks later, playing significant snaps. I don't expect them to start Trot Jr., but I do expect them to rotate Trot Jr., the Axeman Jr., with Burks, depending on situations where they think Trotter will best succeed. I also think if Oren Burks struggles, which he did a few times on Sunday filling in for Nakobe Dean, then you might see more and more of Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Some roster moves, which actually complement this, the Eagles have brought in onto the practice squad former player of the Eagles, Nicholas Morrow, who you may remember playing on the team last year, had just under 100 tackles for the Eagles, a little over 200 tackles over the last 2 years between the Eagles and the Bears. He spent a lot of time this season with Buffalo, 11 games. Didn't get on the field much, only 44 snaps in 11 games, but he did have close to 200 special team snaps. And the thing with Nicholas Morrow being on the practice squad, you can elevate guys, etc. He's got that practice squad, potential. And Oren Burks, you're going to see him not on special teams because he's going to be starting, Nicholas Morrow also played last year in the Sean Desai system and the year before with the Bears, which was a Sean Desai style, Vic Fangio style system. Very similar. So Nicholas Morrow should be able to pick up the terminology a little easier than most. He's got experience on the field and on special teams. And, he knows, what's expected of him. And not a lot is expected of him, but it is. Nakobe Dean was put on IR. Paris Campbell was added back to the active roster for like the 300th time this year. They also signed off the practice squad of Jacksonville wide receiver Elijah Cooks, a former 2023 undrafted player. Spent a lot of time on the practice squad for Jacksonville, a little bit of time active on the roster. 6'4", 215-pound wide receiver, big-bodied guy. Don't expect much out of him. That's more of a depth signing just to kind of add along to it there. But Nicholas Morrow is something that, I wasn't expecting. I didn't see that coming. But it is something that came up, and it's out there, and that's good. Someone with experience and somebody that knows at least the basics of this system, which Vic Fangio has many times spoken about being difficult to, pick up in a really quick period of time. But we do have the Rams on Sunday, and as a refresher, we did beat the Rams earlier this season, 37-20. And for those that live under rock or do not remember, that was the game where Saquon Barkley had over 300 all-purpose yards, 255 rushing yards, another 47 in the air, 2 touchdowns. Kenny Gainwell had a touchdown that game. We pretty much dominated. We had 5 sacks on Matthew Stafford. But I kind of feel like that this Rams team is a little different. They've won 6 of their last 7 after beating the Vikings 27-9 on Monday Night Football. But they are going to have a lot of travel. They're going to go from Arizona back to L.A., back to Philly. 1 day less of rest. My biggest concern right now, they're a different team. We did have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, have a pretty good games against us when we faced them the last time, 17 combined catches. But we held them semi in check. Just under 200 about 187 yards total, only 1 touchdown. That's containing them. 17 catches for 170 some yards. It's kind of containing them. But my thing is the pass rush. And they had 9 sacks on Sam Darnold. And I know Jalen Hurts is much more agile, mobile, and has ability to avoid the rush. But the number one thing that I thought was, well, not the number one of the main things I saw that was a struggle against the Packers defense was the interior offensive line and pass protection. And our offensive line and pass protection has been sketchy at times this year. I'm worried about a team that was able to get 9 sacks on Sam Darnold will be able to get after Jalen Hurts at times, but that's going to be coming on Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts to have an offensive game plan that suits them, that gets, what did we talk about, last week and again this week already? Quick hitters, slants, drag routes, quick passing plays if you're going to pass. And the best way to attack a great pass rush is to run right at them. So I expect them to devise a game plan that will feature heavily Saquon Barkley again. I do expect the Rams to be prepared for it, but I expect Kellen Moore to have a better game plan to disguise things and mix things up. Got to go on a side note and a side tangent here because we're going to get Thursday and Friday much more deeper into this Rams team. Like I said, a team that's been 6 out of their last 7 games to get to this point in the season. There's a lot of rumors floating around about A.J. Brown and his reading of a book. And I want to warn and remind all of Eagles Nation, A.J. Brown is not going anywhere. Mark my words right here. You are not going. All the rumors of him, the Patriots, Mike Vrabel wants him back to reunite with him. Nobody is going. Howie Roseman is not trading A.J. Brown to anybody. So whenever you see anybody stirring up rumors about A.J. Brown leaving Philadelphia, you can just instantly block, unfollow, stop listening to that person, whether it's a media member, a content creator, whatever. The Eagles just gave him a massive contract extension. He's arguably the 3rd best wide receiver in football. There is zero, let me say that, zero, zero chance that A.J. Brown is going anywhere. Just putting that to rest right there, guys. This is the Eagles Checkdown right here on the Eagles Pinpole Podcast Network. Go Birds and bubbles up.
Oh, such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Go to Blinds.com for 40% off site-wide. Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.